Your Excellency, sir, in the same breath of gratitude, I am grateful to all the institutions who have facilitated this process, including the ceremony we are having today. And I want to agree with what my elder brother, His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, has said. Whatever has happened in the last few weeks, and indeed in the recent past, is a testament of the maturity of our democracy, and is a testament that our institutions work. Your Excellency, sir, allow me, having thanked you, also to thank the very many people whom I have had an opportunity to learn from them. I may not enumerate all of them, but I've had the privilege of learning from so many great people. And even as we celebrate our Constitution and our democracy, I pay tribute to those who purposed to fight for and defend the establishment of our country and our constitutional order. I am grateful to those who are responsible for creating the Kenya that we live in today, in the past and in the present. I am grateful to those who fought for this Constitution, and I am grateful to all heroes of our country in the past and in the present. Your Excellency, I am grateful to this country for raising me. And I've had so many people to help me grow into who I am today. And therefore, as I discharge the burden that you have placed me, Your Excellency, the burden you have placed on my shoulders, I am grateful that I will discharge that burden with the benefit of having grown and continuing to grow under the feet of not just my father and mother who gave birth to me, but the many elders of their generation who helped me to shape and make me what I am today over time. I am truly grateful. Those who taught me in the formal and the informal setup. Your Excellency, I'm grateful to my family. With your permission, I want to pay tribute to 4 people who have made huge sacrifices, especially in the 14 years, 15 years or so I have been in politics. Before then, I had spent a decade in academia, and of course I'm also grateful to the professors and the colleagues with whom we worked with. But allow me, Your Excellency, today, on a moment like this one, to thank my wonderful wife, Joyce Kithure, a woman who has sacrificed, a professional in her own right, but who has sacrificed to raise our 3 children, Imani, Neema, and Mwende. Many days and nights of my absence as I served the country in different roles. I am very grateful to my wife and the children for being the foundation and providing the support that I have always required as I navigate this difficult space of public service. Having finished with gratitude, Your Excellency, I'll say 2 things before I invite you. The first is to affirm that throughout my journey, culminating with this moment, I have come to believe that Kenya is the country of possibility. Your Excellency, stand here today and take oath of the office of the Deputy President. It can only happen in Kenya. Your Excellency, I was born 52 years ago in one of the remotest parts of Kenya. But because Kenya is the land and the homeland of possibilities, today I, perhaps the most unlikely person, is standing here today because Kenya has made it possible for anybody to become anything in this country. I don't take it for granted. And therefore, Your Excellency, as you lead us into the transformation of our country in the years ahead, I want to commit to support and assist you, together with the other colleagues in government, to realize a Kenya that has even greater opportunities, a more inclusive Kenya, a more democratic Kenya, and a more transformed Kenya. Your Excellency, I'm grateful because of the opportunity that Kenya provides for anyone to aspire to be anything. And therefore, there is no reason going forward why any person from anywhere, from whatever community, creed, religion, should not aspire to become anything in our country, because I am a testament that Kenya is the homeland of possibilities. Finally, Your Excellency, I have reflected on the words of the oath of office I have taken, both the oath of allegiance and also the oath for due execution of the functions of the office of the Deputy President. And in that regard, I want to commit to you, as I end my remarks, I want to commit to you before this congregation and before the Almighty God, who is acknowledged in the Constitution, that I will serve under you and provide you with the assistance and support you require to take this country to the next level. I commit I will be loyal and faithful. I will be loyal and faithful. I will try the best of my ability to work hard together with the other colleagues to lighten the burden that you carry on your shoulders, Your Excellency. And therefore, I think for me, if I may say so, a day when I have received the highest honor yet of my life, and I don't take that for granted. I want to pray that God will give me wisdom to do what I must, and to the colleagues whom we have worked with and will continue to work with, I want to say that I'll provide continuity so that we can be able to all work together and deliver for this country. I forgot, Your Excellency, to thank, when you gave me the task the last 2 years of serving in the Ministry of Interior, there are wonderful people whom I have worked with. Ngao, the police, the prisons, immigration, and all the departments and agencies in the Ministry of Interior. The little successes that we could have achieved, I attribute those successes to my colleagues. If there have been a few challenges, I take responsibility for those challenges. Your Excellency, with those many remarks, thank you very much for giving this privilege. And I now want to request that we be upstanding as we invite His Excellency President William Ruto to come and address us. Moja, mbili, tatu, ingine. Thank you, sir.
Asante sana. Tafadhali tunaweza kuketi chini. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Abraham, Kithure, Kindiki, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Excellencies, Mr. Speaker of the National Assembly, Mr. Speaker of the Senate, our sister, your ladyship, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, members of the judiciary, members of the executive, members of the legislature, fellow Kenyans, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Assalamu alaikum. Hebu mnisalimie hivyo hewani nione ndugu wa Kenya. I am proud to witness the swearing in of the Honorable Abraham Professor Kithure Kindiki as the third Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya under the 2010 Constitution. I know him as a dedicated professional whose commitment to excellence has helped us overcome daunting challenges, and as a tireless public servant on the path of national leadership. Abraham is also a patriot whose dedication to cohesion, national unity, and inclusivity is beyond reproach, an effective champion of peace and stability, and across every part of our country, and a loyal steward of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda, whom together with many others, we crafted to take our country to the next level. Over the past 2 decades, I have had the privilege to witness Professor Kindiki's work as a professor, litigation lawyer, consulting attorney, senator representing Tharaka Nithi, Majority Leader of the Senate, Deputy Speaker of the Senate, the most recently as Cabinet Secretary. I can confirm that in all these roles, he has demonstrated exceptional dedication, high competence and professionalism, and consistently delivered results beyond expectations. Professor Kindiki is a highly qualified and outstanding scholar, advocate and public servant, whose career has been defined by exemplary achievements which demonstrate his vision for positive change and commitment to high standards of efficiency in the performance of his duties. At this stage of the implementation cycle of our national transformation agenda, the people of Kenya require a patriotic public servant and a consummate champion of our constitutional dispensation, our broad-based national governance framework and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda to support the cabinet and the presidency in delivering in full and on time. This moment calls for an individual who takes pride in a job well done and is humble enough to be a loyal servant of the people, and who is selfless enough to reach out and mobilize the entirety of government towards delivering for Kenya. Experienced enough to understand the importance of engaging all sectors of our economy to drive transformation, and committed enough to serve professionally with loyalty and, most importantly, with integrity. I am delighted to affirm that our coalition, and indeed our nation, is blessed with many professionals who meet all these criteria. Among them, Abraham Kithure Kindiki stands out for his exceptional qualifications, extensive experience, and wide-ranging accomplishments. I am honored that he is available. He has told me he is ready, and I know he is willing to serve as my deputy. Professor, my young brother, let me call you Abraham K, or Abra K. Welcome to the service of this great nation, Kenya. And let me say this, I have heard you clearly when you took your oath of office and the oath for the due execution of your responsibilities as Deputy President. You have said two fundamental things in your oath. Kenyans were listening, I too was listening. You said that you will serve the people of Kenya and the Republic of Kenya. Abrake, please serve the people of Kenya and the Republic of Kenya. As I told our principal secretaries, as I told our cabinet secretaries, and as I tell every public servant who has a responsibility, who has a duty, who has the honor to serve our nation, let us serve the people of Kenya and the Republic of Kenya. We are not here to serve ourselves or our families or our communities or our regions or our villages. We are here to serve the Republic of Kenya and the people of Kenya. The second thing that you have said in your oath, I said in my oath, I listened to principal secretaries and cabinet secretaries and others. You have said you will serve without fear, without favor, without affection, and without ill will. My brother Abrake, I listened to you. The people of Kenya were listening to you. Serve without ill will, without favor, without affection, and without fear. So that together, the people of Kenya can know that their public servants, all of us, elected, appointed in different categories, shall know that we have one nation, one country, one people, and we are called upon by the Constitution of Kenya to serve them without bias, without fear, without favor. And let me undertake in this very historic national ceremony to the people of Kenya. And I say this as MCAs listen to me, as members of parliament listen to me, as members of the executive, listen to me, those in the judiciary, and those in the executive, that the people of Kenya, it doesn't matter, those who live near our because this is a very important occasion to underwrite that our judiciary works, that our legislature works, and we will make sure that our executive works and serves the people of Kenya. I know that we've gone through a journey, but in this journey, we have affirmed to both ourselves as the people of Kenya, to our friends, and to the international community, we have affirmed that Kenya is a constitutional democracy founded on the firm foundation of the rule of law. We believe in freedom, and we believe in making sure that no Kenyan and none of us is left behind. Today we stand here as a people, united, peaceful, because we are a democracy, we believe in our constitution, we believe in the rule of law, and we are a free people, and we make choices. Let me also say this. To all of us who are public servants, it doesn't matter at what level. To all of us, we are reminded on this very historic day that we serve at the pleasure of the people of Kenya, and we serve under the provisions of the law and the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. And that none of us, irrespective of the office we hold, is greater than what our Constitution says. We must obey, we must submit to the law and to the Constitution, because that is what makes us a nation. Let me say this as I conclude. We have made stride as a nation. Today, our savings as a percentage of our GDP is growing. We have changed and we have transformed our education system. Today, we have more teachers. We just announced another 20,000 teachers. We have a new funding model that is student-based, which we are refining to make sure that no child in Kenya is left behind. My dear Professor Kindiki, I need your voice. I need your intellect to help me and to help members of our cabinet to profile the things we are doing, to speak to the things that we are doing. I have almost become a lonely voice in the executive, especially in the presidency, speaking about our projects, speaking about our programs, elaborating on what we are doing. You are eloquent, my brother. You are intelligent, my brother. I am confident that you will do that which I have missed for the last 2 years. I know you will. We have a huge program on university funding and higher education funding. We have a huge program that today our farmers across Kenya have access to fertilizer. We have a huge program on expanding our irrigation. We have a big program on what we are doing. We need your voice, and we need the voice of those of us in the executive to provide leadership and to see to it that indeed we achieve what we wrote into our Constitution. Today, as we wrote in our Constitution, Kenya Power has turned around and today is a profitable company. So is KenGen, because of the stewardship that we have put in place. My brother, our manifesto is elaborate. Our manifesto is transformative. We are implementing it page by page, paragraph by paragraph, chapter by chapter, because we have to transform this great nation, and failure is not an option. We must. We have a big program on rural electrification to connect close to 300,000 homes across Kenya. I need your support to the Ministry of Energy, who are doing a wonderful job in that exercise. We have a big program on markets across Kenya. We have a big program on housing across Kenya. Today, we have 100.
From visiting big tech companies like Google, Microsoft, and Coursera, sailing under the Golden Gate Bridge, exploring the beautiful city of San Francisco, and hanging out with Stanford University students, it's been so much fun learning and immersing ourselves in these new surroundings.
Shillings every year and access housing in the Republic of Kenya. My brother, let me tell you, our universal health coverage is underway with a bit of challenge initially, but now we are moving. And I want to tell the people of Kenya, we are going to transform this nation. And we have the team. And Professor, welcome to the team that is going to transform Kenya into a great nation that is going to make every Kenyan proud. Let me conclude by saying we have what it takes to transform the Republic of Kenya. And I am committed to making sure that whatever it takes, whatever decisions that have to be made, we will make them so that our nation can truly be transformed. As I talk to you, 10,000 young people are now engaged in climate works in Nairobi. We intend to take that in the next few months into 40 and 50,000 young people. And I commit to the people of the great city of Nairobi that we are going to clean the Nairobi River and we are going to transform it into a better, different causeway as we transform the city in the sun, the headquarters of the environment in the world, where we have UNEP in Nairobi. We're also going to roll out the program that will make sure that we tap into the private sector and make sure that we can work through public and private partnership to make sure that we roll out some of the urgent, important programs that are important for the transformation of our nation. Let me conclude by asking all of us, members of the legislature, members of the judiciary, especially our investigative institutions, to make sure that we ensure that public resources are used efficiently, effectively. I call upon the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the offices of the DCI, and the offices of the IG to work with the judiciary so that the corrupt can be firmly, decisively dealt with in the Republic of Kenya, and the citizens of the Republic can get their due in the expenditure of public resources. I know that of recent, we have seen incidences of our girls, our mothers, our women who have been murdered in cold blood. And let me say this, that the DCI and all the investigative authorities in the Republic of Kenya must stand up to these criminals, and we must deal decisively and firmly. And I want to ask us as a society to be careful with strangers, to be careful with people who lure our girls, our women into situations that compromise their security. But we must be on the lookout, all of us as a nation. This is yet another moment. This is yet another beginning. And I am confident that we are going to take Kenya to the next level. Professor Kindiki, as you and all know, there is much to be done to fulfill our commitments and set our nation on the path to prosperity. I expect you to embark on your duties with dispatch and zeal. I wish you success as you begin your service in the high office you have assumed today. May God bless you. May God bless your family. And may God bless our great republic, the nation of Kenya. Asanteni sana, Mungu wabariki, na tutasonga mbele pamoja. Asanteni.
Naomba sote sasa tusimame wima kama ishara ya uzalendo wetu. Tumalizie kwa wimbo wa taifa. Wimbo wa taifa. Basi tusimame mahali tulipo tukimpatia rais nafasi ya kutoka katika starehe zake. Asanteni sana.
Tutamruhusu Mheshimiwa Rais aweze kuondoka na kisha Mheshimiwa Naibu Rais atafuata nyuma wakiandamana pamoja na viongozi wengine. Waruhusu kwanza viongozi wetu waweze kuondoka.
Hayawi huwa. It's now official that Professor Kithure Kindiki is the current Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. After he took oath of office, and of course he took two oaths, one being the office of allegiance to the President and the Republic of Kenya, and the second oath being the oath of office in the execution of the mandate under the office of Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And just to make sure that, just to wrap up what Kindiki said, he said, and he pledged his loyalty to the President in all times, and he said he will not let the President down. And he also thanked institutions that made this particular ceremony possible. And he said, this is the highest honor I have received in my entire life, just to quote his verbatim. And of course, President William RUTO has welcomed Professor Kithure Kindiki to that office of the presidency. And now, as Professor Kithure Kindiki came in as a Deputy President designate, he now goes home, or he goes with two titles, one being His Excellency, and of course the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And Professor Kithure Kindiki becomes the second Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya in the current Kenya Kwanza administration, actually within 2 years after the successful impeachment of former DP Rigathi Gachagua, who was dealt a blow yesterday by the High Court, actually by the Eric Ogola-led three-judge bench that set aside the conservatory orders of the Kirinyaga, or rather the Kirogoya High Court, that had stopped the swearing in of Professor Kithure Kindiki, and actually they made the path clear for him. And just hours later, or rather that today, this particular ceremony has happened, and that chapter has been closed. And whatever the outcome of the judiciary, or rather the courts, will be made, maybe days or even weeks or even months or years later, in regards to the impeachment of former DP Rigathi Gachagua, will be left to be seen what actually will happen regardless of that outcome. And in this particular event, President RUTO has asked Kindiki to make sure that the government will serve the people of Kenya and the Republic of Kenya. And he said, just to quote him, we are not here to serve ourselves, we are not here to serve our families, and not our community or our villages, but we are here to serve everybody. We are here to serve the Republic of Kenya. And those are live pictures of Kenyans making their way outside the Kenyatta International Convention Center after witnessing the momentous occasion right here in the Kenya's capital, Nairobi. I take you back to studio.
Very well. Colorful and auspicious are hardly suitable words to describe the events that we just witnessed in the swearing of Professor Kithure.
Speech there, and Deputy President, that is Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, now taking over the reign as the second in command. Of course, want to get the views of residents. Of Moyale here. We have found this cafe joint here in Moyale across the border town, and of course they were listening keenly, following the proceedings through KBC Channel 1, as you can see behind me. But let me sample views of the residents here of Moyale. Let me start with you, gentlemen. Karibu baba. Kama unaweza wasimama nitakushikia tu, usijali. Unaweza kuja hapa. Tafadhali, utueleze jina lako, biashara gani unafanya, alafu tuambie umeona naibu wa rais amekula kiapo. Unahisi aje kama mkazi wa Moyale?
Okay, kwa majina mimi naitwa Said, ni mkazi wa Marsabit. Hapa tuko mahali ni Moyale sub county. Ya kwanza tunashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa siku ya leo. Ya pili tunashukuru president wetu William Samoei Ruto kwa kuchagua ndugu yetu Kindiki kwa nafasi ya naibu rais. Tunashukuru wa Kenya wote kufurahia leo, siku ya leo tuko na furaha mingi sana. tunakubali, tunataka serikali iendelee mbele. So kuanzia hapo sasa serikali ifanye kazi yake vile inatakana. Tumefurahi sana.
Wito wako sasa kwa huyo naibu rais amechagua?
Mimi najua yeye ni mchapa kazi, afanye kazi yake vizuri. Kama mimi najua yeye anaweza hii kazi, na tunamwombea Mungu afanye kazi yake vile inatakana kufuata katiba ya Kenya. Tunafurahi sana.
Asante sana. Let me also get the views of other residents. Baba, kama unaweza kuja unisimamie hapa. Umekuwa ukisikiliza, umefuatilia naibu rais mpya anaitwa Kithure Kindiki. Nitakushikia tu usijali. Kwa majina unafanya kazi gani?
Jina langu ni Golo Waldomamo. Nafanya kazi ya Maragwe business, Maragwe Kastomuko. Sasa maoni yetu sasa sina furahi sana watu wa Moyale. Vile nabatia huyu nabatia Kithure Kindiki. Sisi nafurahi sana. Hakuna kitu sinasema sina furahi, nafurahi kabisa. Yeye ni kijana kidogo na shamba kazi. Ndio.
Asante sana baba. Acha tupate maoni ya mwingine kama unaweza simama baba. Usema jina lako, kazi yenye unafanya hapa Moyale na umeweza kuona kwa TV pale kupitia runinga ya KBC.